Good morning, Stefan. Thank you for giving us this interview. Let's begin with the first question. What triggered the idea of the air taxi?
What triggered the idea to set up Fly Aeolus air taxi? Good question. I think on the basis was the problem that business travelers within Europe currently have. If you look at the average travel time, or better said the flight time that business travelers undertake traveling within Europe, it takes them maybe 1 hour and a half if you literally look at the intrinsic flight time. But if you look at the total travel time, taking into account the fact that business travelers need to travel to the airport and then after landing at their destination have to travel again to their final destination, you're looking at a travel time of around 6 to 7 hours in total because of the fact that you have to check in quite early before departure. On top of that, you also have to travel to quite some large traffic nowadays to get into the airport. We noticed that and we looked at alternatives, and you saw that private jets are traveling or have the highest demand in Europe over flights with a range of around 500 to 700, 900 kilometers. And that put us in a presumption. Can't we offer something as an alternative to commercial air travel with traditional airlines like KLM, Lufthansa, Swiss, you name them, while offering the same services as a private jet, but for a more affordable price, as private jets are quite expensive. The objective of the air taxi model as we're currently operating is, first of all, to save time, saving travel time, time for our business passengers. And we're doing that in a twofold way, or in two ways. First of all, we save time because we are landing closer to the final destination of our customer. Either we're taking off closer to the origin of our customer. We land at around 1,200 to 1,600 airfields throughout Northwest Europe. And we of course save time at the airport. We dilute the check-in times which are necessary or required at major airports. What we're trying to offer is a model or a private air travel model which is very equal to private jets services. So you determine when to depart to where you want to basically go. And but the alternative here is that we offer not luxury but rather a comfortable, no hassle air service, and that for a fraction of the price of a private jet aircraft. Yes, I have always been passionate about aviation. From a child, I've been passionate about this business. I think it's a children's dream to become a pilot. I had that same dream, but I really got entangled by this business when I was visiting Eurocontrol in Brussels with my father. And I got completely surprised and taken by all the screens, radar screens, which we saw in those buildings, where basically the radar screens were representing terminal areas and where aircraft were basically passing through. I didn't become a pilot in the end because of my glasses. In those days, becoming a pilot was quite fierce by means of all the rules around it. Hence, I decided to become an aerospace engineer, and I did my Masters of Science within Delft University of Technology, becoming an aerospace engineer. After which I immediately started entrepreneuring. So we have two important values. The first one is a go-getter attitude. We have a go-getter attitude. What do I mean by that? I always have been a strong believer in the sentence saying no is something you have and yes is something you can get. And that yes, we can get you innovative and creative ideas. On the other side, I believe that communication is an important value equally. Whereas communication as well as internal in our company or towards our customers. So in our communication, we are trying to be as well as professional but also personal, and trying to give quick facts to our communication is important. That's what our customers really like about us. It's almost kind of a way of doing no bullshit business. What we've learned in the last couple of years is that focus is of high importance. So putting the right resources on the right tasks and the focused tasks towards your product or service. That also allows you to make big leaps and differentiates yourself from the competition. I think that's quite an important lesson what we've learned. But also the latest amount of years due to Corona have also put that idea on a scale, so to say, because we also had to look for revenue differentiation. So it was literally looking for that balance between focus and revenue differentiation. That's something that we really had to work on and learn accordingly. On the short term, we see a clear challenge which has been driven through a change of demand in the latest amount of months, maybe the last year even, where our customers have shifted from requesting the services, let's say from 1 to 2 weeks beforehand, to, let's say, more last minute requests where they literally request our services the day before the flight. That needs a shift in logistics from, let's say, our resource point of view, but also from a service point of view. And those are things that we need to act on so that we can keep on providing the services, the air taxi services to our customers, also in the sense that they book quite late before the flight. Secondary, on the longer term, we see some clear challenges when it comes to greening or sustainability of the air taxi. Technology is lagging behind when it comes to providing aircraft which are indeed emission free or emission neutral. So we have to look for steps to, in the meantime, to try to become more sustainable and try to decrease as much as possible the carbon dioxide or any other emissions which we need to indeed dilute as much as possible, until the moment that indeed we can change and adapt our fleet with new innovations, with carbon neutral or emission neutral aircraft.
Thank you very much for your answers. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.